Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. Acquisition of love of God, that alone can give us mukti, keeping us unstained and untouched in the world. Love makes intimacy with God and detachment from the worldliness and worldly ideas. It brings about a longing to transcend all bondages and suffering forever and go beyond. Love of God is like anointing oneself, Sri Ramakrishna says, with the oil and cutting open the jackfruit. Otherwise it's milky gum sticks onto the hand. It's very difficult to remove. Those who have cut the jackfruit will know how difficult it to remove once it gets stuck to the hands. So that divine love has one more phase of it, is it gives you the ultimate satisfaction and fulfillment in life, which none else can give. I may focus my love on any person in this world. The person is impermanent and with all limitations. So my love remains unfulfilled. I may love any object or animal. It is transitory. Where is the eternal? Which can I love that takes me to eternity and makes me experience the eternity here in the relative existence limited by time? We are in the time-bound area and we are aspiring for the eternal. We are in the limited universe and we are aspiring for infinite, beyond space and time. So this is what we see, and love alone can make you experience that eternal and infinity here in this realm of time and space, because intellect has its limitations to expand till it is colored and charged by consciousness, by constant thinking and total renunciation, like the Advaitic sadhana. Renounce all things of this world as Maya. Give up all things and fill your consciousness with Chaitanya, the absolute existence, the Nirguna Nirakara. Go on thinking, go on thinking, go on thinking. Here renunciation of all things is inevitable. Once you take up the path of jnana, you have to renounce everything. Only contemplation, just to maintain the bodily existence, beg a few doors, eat something, and then go on contemplating. Here in Bhakti path, in loving God, you will remain in the world with all others, but your heart is given to the God. Just like two lovers live in the world. They do all their duties, all things, but in their consciousness, only the object of love remains. Like that in here, in the devotee's heart, when heart is given to God, When God captures the heart and enters the heart, His whole being, from bodily existence to the core of existence, every layer is colored to see, to perceive that within and without you, because love makes you mad, that all other things become insipid. You don't feel like having anything. So this pervades your love, pervades your whole being, your bodily existence, your mind, psychic existence, your emotional existence, your sensual existence. All these layers are filled with the divine love. Love makes every layer of your existence charged with love. Intellectual thinking makes only intellect filled with the awareness of the object of meditation. Suppose I am thinking of Brahman, intellect alone. Body will not be filled with Brahman. You have to deny the body. Manobuddhi ahankara chittani naham. Go on denying. Your whole existence is denied in the thought of Brahman. Shivoham. Identifying with the spiritual. Here, there, the cutting off from ego, from bodily existence, and from the world are essential. Here, they all will remain where they are, but they are divinized. The whole system is divinized. Everything is divinized. It is offered to God. God pervades it as if, and you are experiencing. Our senses want to see God. Mind wants to experience God. Intellect wants to understand God. Everything is charged with the divine love. So, when the divine love is there, moving about in the world and doing your all duties of life will not stain you, because ego is bound to the divine. Ego itself is mechanically the nature is getting done, all things, all duties. You are free from the new karmic load. The doership is absent, the enjoyership is absent, because heart itself, which can enjoy, which can do, is missing. It is given to God. So this makes you freely move about in the world, do all your duties, earn your own living, stand on your own legs, and keep moving towards the divine and reach the divine before the evening of life comes. So it's a smooth and joyful journey where everything is divinized. When will it be divinized? When you give your heart to God, everything becomes divine. If there is a little vanchana in giving heart to God, if you keep the heart on enjoyments, if you keep your mind on the possessions, if you keep your mind on self-protection, I have to protect myself, who will look after me in old age, all these things will make us bargain in love. In love, the whole responsibility, the care, everything is offered to God, and God alone as the avalambana of life, support of life, not to possess anything as mine. All things are there. It belongs to God, and God has kept under me. I am only a trustee of all the possessions. The ownership is denied. There is self-effacement. My I am erased. I is erased. A devotee of God is there in the body, longing to serve and see God. So this kind of love, which leads ultimately to ecstatic love of God, wherein the person loses all external awareness in loving God, is reached. Further, by meditating on God in solitude, the mind acquires knowledge, dispassion, and devotion. See. Further, by meditating on God in solitude, the mind acquires knowledge. You are alone in solitude. Whatever you read, whatever you contemplate upon, whatever you reason out, that you will start sinking to deeper levels, and you can give your whole mind and intellect to your studies and knowing, analyzing, analysis, self-analysis and analysis of the external things. What is this? What is this? Why is this? Why there is suffering for mankind? Well, when many are enjoying, many are suffering. All this knowledge, from the knowledge what this universe is, what this jiva means, how does the jiva come into the relative existence, the universe, all things are a part of our knowledge, jnana. What is mukti? All these understandings. First comes the verbal understanding from scriptures and other sources, from Guru's mouth, and then slowly they start moving towards. The effects are dispassion and devotion. Knowledge, dispassion and devotion. I am dispassion means I don't dislike the world. I don't hate the world. I don't want to escape from the world. But I am not interested. Udasina bhava. Because it is not going to fulfill my desire. I desire for something which is beyond this nature. I want something eternal, something that is never lost from me. So my aspiration is higher, and nothing in the world, nobody in the world can give me what I want. So what if it is there or not there? My relationship with the world is only trying to see the divine in everyone, divine everywhere, and serve as much as possible. So my relationship with the world is only to serve, to give what I have. If at all I have something to give, and nothing else. Not to receive, no expectations, no demands. So, because I don't want anything, no expectations, no demands, I cultivate dispassion. Vairagya, dispassion means viraga, free from attachments. It is not dislike. Vairagya doesn't mean, usually commonly we just think vairagya means pushing away things. No, it is there, it is there. I am not attached to that. If it is there, it is there. If it is not there, it is not there. I don't need. My support is God alone. Even when it is there, God is my support. When it is not there also, God is my support. So this kind of dependence on God, love of God, brings dispassion to the world, detachment from all things of the world. Knowledge, dispassion and devotion. Devotion is giving all aspects of your existence to God. I am devoted to God. I am devoted to people. I am devoted means my mind is given, my heart is given, My body is given, that person to whom I am giving can utilize as he wants. I am slave of God, like I am devoted, ready to do any work or anything for the Lord's sake, anywhere, anytime. Example is Hanuman. He doesn't have any act for himself. Whatever he does, if he opens eyes, it is for God. If he closes his eyes, it is for God. If he scratches his body, it is for God. If it eats something, it is for God. So this kind of doing everything for God is devotion. Ready to do anything, just waiting for Rama's orders. What can I do? What can I do? What way I can serve? We see even animals totally devoted to the master. The kings used to have horses. They used to love the horse, and horse also used to, that intimacy with which they live, as if father and child. And in war fields, when the king is wounded, the horse will understand and immediately make such a way that king is comfortable on the back and he returns to the safe place where the king can get the treatment. Yes, yes. In the war field itself, their supporters and protectors will be there. There will be a house, a tent, wherein the wounded are taken, and there no enemy can enter that region. Though they have the capacity to enter, they should not enter. Where food is served, where water is given, where treatments are given, where patients are kept, nobody can attack or make a war. Though these are also warriors, to that safe place or to the palace it will take. Means you can imagine how much devoted it is to the master. It tries to protect the master in every way. So this devotion, they develop the devotion to God. And wherever they see the God, in whatever aspect, he is devoted there. If he is able to see the divine in every person, or some beggar, or some suffering man, if he can see the divine there, just like his Ishtadevata, he serves, as if the Ishtadevata has come there with that, for that purpose, to receive his services, asking me, serve me, I am helpless. God has come in that form. So if you can see the divine, wherever he sees, not only God who is sitting there on the throne, no, as his Ishtadevata, sitting in the heart, no. Wherever he sees divine, wherever there is a picture of his Ishtadevata, tears roll seeing it. He is ready to serve, he longs to see, longs to meet. Devotion. That kind of devotion you get from the Ekantavasa. But the very same mind goes downward if it dwells in the world. When it goes on thinking of the world and living in the world, you cannot avoid seeing and what is happening. Suppose I were to be there in the house, every bit of information I am witnessing every day what is happening. Though I know it is unreal, my time is gone in observing, grasping and forgetting it. My life is gone in that. And nothing remains ultimately. Everything is passing event. My children will not live in this world. They will also go die away one day. All property I have made will not stay. It will also, whatever I have done, my school education, certificates, all this will go away. Nothing will remain. So, what remains is love of God. All other things will go. Even after realization of God, what ultimately lives is only love of God and love of all beings, love of Mother Nature. So when it's kept in the world, it goes downward. In the world, there is only one thought, woman and gold. Kamini Kanchan. Thakur used to use the word Kamini Kanchana. The word, it is not a word. Whatever causes lust, object which instigates, which awakens lust feeling in a man is called Kamini. Kamini has two aspects. Anything that creates lust in man or woman or in any being is called Kamini. Kamini means a woman is also, the term Kamini is used for a woman also. But because it doesn't end with one desire, it goes on parampara. Feminine term is used to indicate it will not end with one. Like arrow shot, only one arrow goes and it's over. It is not given the feminine word. River is given feminine word. It continues, flows endlessly. Earth is given. It remains bearing the weight of all of us. Feminine, earth, feminine is given. Nuclear weapon, fission is there. Endlessly it will go on. Arrow is one. Fission is multiple. That goes on. It is feminine. Nature is given. Because it multiplies endlessly. It is perennial stream. One seed, one paddy seed, put, a plant will come with 100 seeds. Each will become 100. So there is perennial stream which never ends. Then the feminine is given. Kama, the desires, any kind of desire doesn't end with one desire. Desire generates another desire, and hundreds of problems also will crop up, and other desires to remove that problems will crop up. So many things we see following each other in a parampara. So the term Kamini is used with specific thing which creates any kind of desire in the mind, and Kanchana is used all kinds of possessions. I have intellectual capacity, I have physical capacity, I can lift so many weights, I have my skills, I am a good person, I have goodness. All this becomes under the power. Whatever I possess, certificates, I am a doctor, all these are Kanchana. Kanchana means all things which you possess, and Kamini means all desires and basic desires, especially all other desires you can control. But the nature's drive, two important drives, self-preservation and preservation of species, are the laws of nature. The nature has to see that vegetation remains as it is. Millions of years back, the same vegetation was there, and today also the same vegetation, but same trees are not there. Trees die away, rivers dry away, but source again it gets filled in rain. Again, before a tree dies, it throws thousands of seeds so that vegetation will remain. This process of maintaining life on this earth is the sex drive. It is preservation of species. That mango tree has to remain. That species has to remain. Human has to remain. Animal has to remain. But body is perishable, like apple and coconut. Perishable. One day you will see that it is rotten away and gone away. So things go away, but seeds remain. Mango will rot away. Mango seed will become another tree. So this drive, two important nature's drives, is self-preservation. I have to preserve myself. Each soul makes its own responsibility to protect itself. So cows have been given horns. Each one, snake can bite, it has venom in the mouth, fangs are there. The scorpion can sting, bee can sting to protect itself. Not always. Whomever it sees, it will not go and sting. When it wants to protect itself only, it will use those weapons. So self-protection, nature itself provides and instigates. The flee or fight. Any animal coming, I have to fight or run away. It will run away, disappear from the others will try to chase. Self-protection. That instinctive nature, it's called instinct. Nature's drive they are. So it is not in your hand to overcome that. That's why Thakur is warning. So for self-preservation, you make all things mine. I'll put the fencing for the land. Last, leave and go away. Fencing will remain, land will remain. He has gone away. So for self-preservation and for preservation of species, another nature's drive, he will have sex. So these are, all desires are included, but all desires can be removed. These nature's drives have to be removed by the grace of God. I must get exemption from the law of nature. When will I get that exemption from the law of nature? That law will not apply to you. Self-preservation and preservation of species will not. You are beyond that law. When it comes, when you have the pure love of God and you are totally devoted to God, you have given yourself totally to God. So Kamini Kanchana term you must clearly understand why the terms are used. These two belongs to the nature's drive of self-preservation and preservation of species, which cannot be easily transcended, and that keeps us bound to the nature. But nature's plan is, nature has two aspects. One is it wants to release the jiva, take it back to the source. Another is it wants to bind and keep. That part of the nature which wants to bind and keep we call avidya maya. And that part which wants to release you and take beyond, we call vidya maya. Both are maya, but one is, the difference is in the gunas, sattva and tamas. Tamas binds, rajas will make you run about, and sattva will try to release you, to make you go beyond. So in the nature there is the three gunas, and one of the gunas try to bind you, other creates the desires, run about, and the third one wants to release you. Sattva comes under the vidya maya, tamas comes under the avidya maya, and in between you will be running about helplessly. Sometimes you want to get released, by the time you go to the border, another side drags you. And that day you go, this drags you. Formerly there were watch clocks which we used to wind. In between a cell, putting a cell came into vogue. That was used. The pendulum will go on oscillating. When the pendulum goes here, it will disconnect and another winding will get connected. That becomes magnet. It pulls. It comes here, that will become magnet. Current disconnects and that connection it gives. It goes on oscillating. When it goes here, that pulls. When it goes here, this magnet will pull. This will become magnet. When it is there, when it comes here, it will lose its magnetism because it is disconnected from the current. That becomes magnet. And when it goes there, that loses its magnetism. This becomes magnet. It goes on endlessly moving about. A small cell, 1 year, one small cell, when if you put, it will go on oscillating. That is what we are. From vidya maya to avidya maya, avidya maya. When we enter into the border, we are in the realm, in the jurisdiction of avidya maya. Once you enter into the jurisdiction of vidya maya, then you have greater chances of not returning back. It has become a permanent magnet for you. It will not allow you so easily to enter the world again. Om Niranjanam Nityamanantarupam Bhaktanukampa Dhrutavigraham Vai Ishavataram Parameshamidhyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namama.